Hey my glorious friends, it's me back again with you on this Sunday. What is the date? 27th of July 2025. This is your navigation for the week ahead. This is where I use tarot cards, particularly the Guardian Angel Messages Tarot deck by Radley Valentine, plus where the moon is heading to give us a navigation for what to expect for this upcoming week. So let's get right to it, shall we? Here we go. We have on Sunday the King of Fire, and there are only two major arcana cards which would signify major events this week. They come up on Monday and on Friday. Then the rest of the week we meander along with two earth cards, the 9 and the Knight, in the middle of the week, and then one air card, which would be Contemplation, on Thursday. Saturday, we kind of have this emotional upheaval day with the 8 of Water. So let's get right to how the planets, how the angel numerology numbers all line up to give us kind of like a forecast. So this is for the week ahead, July 27th to August 2nd, 2025. We're in week number 31. So this week could well see people going around the bend a bit, behaving badly, losing their sense of decorum, and being far less agreeable and gracious than what we would normally expect. We're being urged to keep our own equilibrium intact, exercise patience, and dig a little deeper in and look for some gratitude. So let's start with Monday. King of Earth. Inspirational, charismatic, innovative. I got myself together. I know what I'm doing. My tree is blooming with blossoms and ready to start working on some pretty hefty cherries, because this is cherry blossoms. Okay, we're good to go. But it's also telling us to put our feelings out there so they can be seen. Focus, everything should be on solid ground today, and you should have good life choices that come from being honest with yourself. On Sunday, it's a day for the 7 of Cups energy, the Sun energy, the Chariot energy, and forward movement is really highly likely. So put your feelings out there so they can be seen. The gentle moon in Virgo will be like whispers through the trees, urging you to listen to the breeze. Make sure that you're calibrated and you're aligned with all that you can be. Now, moving into Monday, this Tower card, the transformation card, the card of looking at things in a brand new way. We see our people walking away from what seems to be a self-imposed prison, a realization, a life change. I always want to say this is almost like the Hangman card. Liberation, change, let's go. Let's get out of the doldrums. Well, it's a number 8 day, a day of success, prosperity, abundance. Today's energy, even if it's where your mind and your thoughts are. Think of having the Midas touch today with the King of Pentacles or the King of Earth. Invoke the Archangel Ariel, invoke Archangel Jophiel. Maybe wear some pink, because both those archangels are pink people. The moon is moving through the sign of Virgo, and the healing energy of love is part of today's vibration. That's on Monday. Venus and Chiron are aligned well, so allow yourself to be vulnerable, particularly with those you care about. Shifting into Tuesday, we have the 9 of Earth. We see our subject sitting here with her cup of tea around the tea table. She's content, she's in her luxurious garden, she feels independence, her flowers are growing, and all of her coins are well placed up in the trees. This is a declaration, a lift-off moment, a number 9 angel numerology. It's for you to look at things as going really, really well. There are a number of things coming to close, and if you're not in that reality, you will do well to instigate an ending of something, even if it means getting rid of clothes you no longer want, things that don't fit, furniture that doesn't go in the right place. Anything that no longer represents who you are should be poised for a change. The moon is shifting into Libra. So consider all of your amazing relationships today, being mindful of the work that you have put into these relationships. The other part I want you to look at is, ask yourself if you're investing in the relationships and if you're sustaining those relationships, because this is another part of the 9 of Earth, 9 being the number of the day. Are we looking to change, alter, and move past some stagnant relationships? And if that's true, are you responsible for the stagnation of it? Now, what I want you to be careful of on Tuesday is, do not beat yourself up. If you felt yourself needing a break from people, a break from these relationships, this is where you ask yourself why. Are they holding you back, holding you down, keeping you from growing? Or do you need to reinvest yourself in them to reaffirm how important they are to you? This is coming up on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we see the Knight of Earth. Now, the Knight of Earth is moving past the 9 of Earth. She is letting her mind gallop forward, organized, responsible, supportive. I've got everything I need. I'm holding on to my security. Everything is coming forth for harvest. We're seeing these flowers in bloom. We're also seeing the change in seasons. And then right up on her head, she got these ideas racing through her mind. See? She got a racehorse in her thoughts. Now, this happens to be a 10-1 day. So it's divine, magical new adventures. The world and the dreamer, which is a Fool card in tarot. That energy is around you today, and the divine has closed the door on one part of your life because a new chapter is waiting to be born. A story in your head is germinating. And are you going to be part of allowing it to take root with your creative visualization, with your passion, with your energy? And if that's true, call upon the divine source energy, the divine masculine energy. Use Archangel Uriel, Archangel Raphael to give you help. Now, also on Wednesday, Chiron goes retrograde in the sign of Aries underneath this Libra moon. So, it's suggesting you lick your wounds and indulge in some healing energy. That means get a massage from someone who does light work or body work. Even get a Reiki treatment to help you. And sometimes when life gives us a slap, particularly if we're not listening, it's a good dose of energetic alignment to calibrate all of our systems. Moving into Thursday, last day of the month, we've got the 4 of air. Meditation, recuperation, contemplation. We've got our subject laying on a blanket, having a bit of a snooze, but really not having a snooze. Meditating with the 4 of swords, weighing up options, deciding where is my equilibrium, where is my peace, where do I need to put this in, that in, the other thing in. Let's see, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, diplomacy. A number 2 angel energetic number. Keep the faith and keep going. Call on Archangel Jophiel, Archangel Raguel. Make sure any negative thoughts are evaporating before they turn into negative feelings. Weeds of the mind suffocate the energy of a loving heart. Remember that on Thursday. Venus moves into Cancer. The moon travels into Scorpio. This is a pivotal point in the Mercury retrograde rotation. Makes your thoughts and opinions known to others, particularly if your thoughts and your opinions benefit people, more than one person. And I would say if you should have spoken up earlier and the opportunity comes to you to speak up again, take it. Now, moving into Friday, this is the 1st of August. We got the number 4 of the Emperor, pretty pivotal card. Organization, leadership, structure. This is a repeat of the declaration day. A time to lift off. A time for another chance to use your energizing things that are coming to an end. Now, this works with the Empress, and in this case the Emperor, plus the Hermit card, to tap into your leadership abilities. We're in the first quarter moon, and it's inside the sign of Scorpio. So if you've been living in a cloud, particularly cloud cuckoo land, this could be the day of reckoning, because Venus is clashing, causing all kinds of illusions to shatter. Watch what illusions you've been under that seem to be falling to pieces. This is, in my opinion, in my intuitive opinion, Friday is the day where the cat could come flying out and end up in the pigeon coop. Watch watch the reactions of other people. Particularly, and this is what I'm getting psychically, if you are gung-ho about something you want to do, a new opportunity, something's coming up, and you're super, super excited, and someone turns the tables on you and changes their mind, or you get a letter in the mail that says, I'm so sorry, we are no longer going in this direction, and it seems out of character for any of it to be going on. This is what we're talking about. Doesn't mean that you need to lose your doo-doo caca. You don't need to be doing that. Just sit back, take a breath, but keep your visions solid, because one door might close, but who knows what doors are going to open. Your negative thinking, your negative feeling, your demonstrative attitude for being disappointed will get in the way if you're not careful. This is on Friday. Our Emperor is saying, stay the course, get organized, and invoke your leadership skills. Like I would say on Friday, if you've got something that was lined up to go and they pull the rug out, I would say, good riddance to bad rubbish, I'm moving on. That is the attitude that you really want to have, rather than boo-hoo, hoo-hoo, blaming somebody for not committing. I'm hoping that makes sense to you. Saturday, this is our only card that talks about emotion. 8 of water. Particularly the 8 of water shows somebody crying over spilt milk. In this case, she believes that all 8 of these cups have fallen over. Yet, look, she's still moving forward. Searching, empowerment, fulfillment. She is still going on this long journey up here. And her spirit guides are saying, her guardian angels are saying, I'm with you, I got you, sister, we're good. Now, what's interesting is the 2nd of August has a 10-1 day. Moon wishes and divine dreams. So while the numeric energy is repeating itself from Wednesday, the moon and her cycles have not. They're moving forward. It's for this reason we take a divinatory dive into what the tarot and what the planets are telling us. In this case, keep going. You might be on a 10-1 divine dream day. However, exercise some diplomacy and move forward. The moon is in harmony with the lunar nodes on Saturday. Tune into your intuition and look at where your path is going. See this? You can't make this up. If your path that you're on feels like intuitively, emotionally unsettling, not quite right, not sure this is where you should be, this is an early invitation to pay attention to it, particularly if the people in your life, the situations that's going on, the stories, the places, the events have all shifted and they're no longer partly aligned with where you are. They could be shifting and changing so much so they're completely different to where they were a season ago. Look at Saturday as a brand new day. This is another chance to change the wishes and the dreams and another chance to dig into divine source energy that might be leading you towards an even better opportunity. And I'm hoping that makes sense. These weeks, what I'm realizing astrologically and with the tarot and intuitively, between a new moon and a full moon, being that first quarter moon, the last quarter moon, where we have waning cycle, waxing cycle, and it's not where a moon is either full or new, those what I call the in-between times. This is where the cycles seem to drift and sort of like kind of go along, and they glide along. It's only when we've got a full or a new moon plus an eclipse or a change like an equinox that things tend to go a bit cattywampus. Now, I also want to say that there are a number of outer planets that not only change signs at the beginning of the summer, but they're now retrograding. So you see my drift, where it throws energetic movement forward into a different arena, a different access, a different polarity, a different magnetic pull. So the only way to kind of meander through it is through trust, through faith, and through intuitive knowledge that if this pathway is beginning to feel a little shaky, and yet you've been on it for so long, you're like, well, what is causing it to shift? If you're getting the sense that this pathway is shifting, pay attention. Because intuition, spirit guides, angels, and your ascended ones are saying, nothing is how it was at the beginning of the year. Nothing is how it was at the beginning of the summer. And we're trying to urge you to stay lucid, to stay light, to stay bright, to stay in gratitude, to stay in adventure, to stay in curiosity. When you do that, you will float. You'll float forward, you'll bounce forward. For me personally, it's not something I used to do, but it's something I do now. I look for a distraction. Not a distraction that takes me out of understanding it or realizing it, a distraction that lifts me up above it. I want something that makes me laugh out loud. I want to watch a movie that moves me. I want me to go somewhere where I'm not bogged into this movement, this shifting and the shaping. I'm hoping that makes sense. All right, my friends, thanks for liking, subscribing, and commenting. Your comments make a huge difference because it helps me land where I'm going. Until tomorrow, lots of love. Bye for now.